Okay, hello. Okay. Hi. All right, it's I believe Tuesday today. Hi everyone. This is the group healing session. We haven't had one of these in a while. Sometimes I'm doing 3 times a month, so there's sometimes a gap. So when the gap happens, I really notice it. It feels like I've been away for a while, but busy like everyone else. Everyone's really busy nowadays, and me included. But I'm just totally going deep within to break more and more, learn new things every single day. And wow, this is such a beautiful planet. There's so much to learn. We're so multidimensional, and it's just quite amazing how you can play with creating your own life. And as you create and you see what comes, it's like, wow. Today, we are going to I think I've been studying this one thing for the last few months. And until I actually really understand it, it's hard for me to articulate it. And it takes months for the learnings to kind of trickle down into a place where I can actually say what I want to say. But I think it's starting to all connect and make sense. So I'm going to take you on a small little journey onto healing today and kind of the broad picture of it. And the resistance and blocks that many people are coming across. I've come across them personally, so I know when people get frustrated and say, "I'm done with this. It sucks." I get it. I've been through that many times. And for those of you who are working on yourself, you may have that up and down. I feel great. I feel like crap. I feel great. I feel like crap. The crap feels less and less sometimes, and then it feels really bad again. And that's usually a really good sign you're breaking something and breaking and going into a new level of perception and releasing a lot of that dense energy that you have. So this call itself is a group healing call. It's very interesting. 10 minutes before we start, the energy is already flowing. So we're already getting the healing energy here. So some of you might already start to feel it. And if you're feeling lightheaded, dizzy, tingling, that's okay. Right now I feel a lot of anxiety from people, but that will start to simmer down. We will get into the part of the healing where we stop the talking and just kind of go into a music session where the energy will intensify. But just know as we are speaking, you're still getting the healing itself. So a few things. I am getting a lot of interesting people coming to see me for very first time, new to energy work, and they're in very bad places. Either they're very sick, or very messed up, or just have no hope. And it's beautiful when someone can sit in front of me and say, "I messed up. I have no idea what to do anymore, and I need something because nothing's working." Because when we admit that we have issues, when we admit that my life has been nothing but chaos when I look at it and it's just getting worse or I can't get out of it, that's part of healing, the admitting. Now, some people will sit in front of me and say, "Well, I'm sick because of my family situation, or my spouse made me sick, or I'm this, or my work made me sick." And that that's the beginning of starting to really understand how we get sick, why our bodies react the way we're reacting. But there's a bit of learning there to take us out of the victim mentality and being a victim of this planet to owning everything that's ever happened to us as I allowed that to happen. And I know I get a lot of pushback from people. I had the hardest time saying that I was responsible for all the shit that happened to me. How's that possible? I would have never asked for those things to happen for me. Yeah, it's not like I verbally went out and said, "Hey, do this to me." But my vibration, my lack of self-love, my lack of self-worth, running in my subconscious mind without even me knowing it was there, was causing the experiences I was experiencing. And as I started to recognize the patterns and recognize what was happening and take myself out of the victim mentality and taking ownership of everything that's ever happened, anything that happens to me is my own creation, It's very humbling. It's very upsetting. It's very embarrassing. It's a lot of things. So we go through all this spectrum of healing. So there's the anger, the frustration, the hatred, the vengeance, the this, the that. We're humans, and sometimes some of us get stuck in one of those longer than others, and we're all very unique. Some of us can let go things easier. Again, our journeys are unique. All of us are spiritual beings having a human experience. We came to this planet to learn. So everyone has their own learnings that they came with. So as a healer, I'm not really healing anybody. This is how it works. I do have an ability to bring in beings of light. That's just a natural ability. But what happens is, as this healing space is created, I'm not healing you. It's just creating a healing space. Healing comes from you. Where you're at, are you ready? What are you ready to let go of? And you're being guided by your higher self. So we have the 3D person, the little Brenda, the victim mentality. Here I am, this happened to me, this happened to me. But then I have the higher self, and we all have this. The higher self is all knowing. So we are already magnificent beings. We are already divine beings. So we are not healing to become divine beings, divine, like to find our divinity. Our divinity is already here. What we're doing is trying to get the little self, the personality self, the 3D self, the poor me self out of the way to allow the divinity with you, to work with you, to be with you. So you're allowing it to express more fully. So when you come across someone who's more compassionate, a little wiser, sees things in a broader perspective, they're not better than you. All they've done is some work to get out of the way to allow their true divinity expression to shine through. So when we're healing, we're not making you better. We're just kind of shifting you out of the way to release that, the kind of the beliefs patterns that are not serving you, the sadness, the traumas, the experiences the 3D self goes through. And as we start to clear them and release them based on your higher self is the one running the show. It knows where you're at, what you're ready to release, all those things. So we can't speed up the process. It's not like I can wave a magic wand and say, okay, so-and-so is going to release this. No, it doesn't work that way. Although there are people that I meet that have these miraculous changes. Sometimes like it's a 180 switch with one session. But that wasn't me doing that. That person was ready. Their timeline, their journey was ready to do that. I just happened to be the lucky practitioner who was there to witness it. That's it. So when we see these, these practitioners, the big names out there that say, oh, this person had a life-changing event. This person had yeah, they did. But that person was ready to have a life-changing event, because then other people go and they don't get it and they get frustrated. That frustration is what I'd like to clarify, because I get so many emails from people or calls saying, I've been doing the work. I'm shifting. I can feel it, but I feel like crap, or I'm still in depression. I feel anger. That's part of the healing. And sometimes they call and I'm feeling so great. And then 2 weeks later, I feel like I hit rock bottom. I want to give up. I want to never say another affirmation ever again. Sometimes when that happens, you're actually making a very big shift. And, we all have duality, right? We all have light and darkness. This is a human thing. And this is why we're all kind of going through this ascension process. It's a personal process. How fast you go is how fast you're going. You can say yes to it. You can say no to it. If you say yes and give permission, your higher self is going to move you along faster and faster based on how fast you can go. So it's very interesting when you just want to give up. But I would say, and a lot of people would agree with me that have gone through this, is when things get really bad, that's usually indication there's a big shift coming, and the darkness within us will flare up to stop us from moving forward, making it so unbearable. Like, I don't want to even do this anymore. I have, over my many years of doing this, given up to the point where I say, I'm done doing this. This is just stupid. It's taking forever. Why is it some people get these beautiful healings so quick and mine's taking years? It really sucks. And you just want to give up. And I lay there having the self-pity party, and my guides will come in and just say, okay, suck it up. This is 3D life, and this is what you're going through. So, just get back up in the morning and do it again. And I usually will clarify, get reconnected and do it. But there's like that's more so lately, right? But back in the day, when I would go into these like major depressions and just like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And then it took me a while to snap out of it. It's hard. And some people just want to give up. So when people write me these really, I'm not going to say nasty emails, but they're very like strict, like strong emails. I'm done with this crap. And I'm just like, wow, it sounds like you're having a lovely shift. Like you're in the midst of it. If you keep moving forward, okay, maybe just get out of the way. Don't do any work. Just get out of the way and say, I surrender. I'm going to go into some humility and say, I'm ready to release the next thing. I'm ready to continue, but I don't know what to do. I'm just saying, I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to claim or feel my divinity, but I don't know the next step. When you kind of just hand it over, the next step will kind of come naturally. It's when people say, I demand to feel better. I demand to know the next step. I demand to know I want to be here, because here is not where we want to be. We don't know what here is. We don't know what the future is for us. Our higher selves have great plans for all of us. And a lot of us are living in fear. And this is kind of where the human collective is, in that fear octave, right? So when you're feeling inspired, light, you just finished meditating, or something great has happened, you're actually in the higher octave where there's no fear, where you feel light and you feel inspired and excited. And we want to stay there, right? Of course we want to stay there. But a lot of us dip. We go back and forth and back and forth. And it's kind of frustrating. And we know what it feels like to feel good. So your guides are working, your higher self is working with you to slowly adjust you to that higher way of living, in that higher octave of living, that higher frequency. So think of it like someone who's learning a what's that called? The high wire. Someone's walking on a high wire. They make it look so easy, right? It just didn't come natural. First, they started with a very thicker wire, low to the floor, and they practiced. And once they were very secure on that, it went a little bit higher, and they practiced again. Then they got a little thinner, and they practiced again. Then they raised it again, and once they mastered that, they went to the next level, and they mastered that. Then they went even higher, but now they had a safety net. And then they went higher, and they had a safety net. This is what your guides are doing as you're learning to release the dense energy and live in a frequency that's higher, which humanity is not used to, because it's been thousands of years living in fear. We kind of get wobbly. And when you're living in the higher octave, where there's no war, there's no fighting, there's none of that stuff, we're not used to it. Okay, what's going on in here? Why am I feeling this way? It's almost uncomfortable. So I'm going to go back to that place where I'm more comfortable. My body's more comfortable. So your guides are working with you to bring you up, and you're going to stumble, and you're going to, until you hit that next level very solidly, that's when you go to the next level, and you're going to fall, and okay. And then once you master that, they're going to bring you to the next level. And there you're going to fall, trip, go down, and again, the next level. So it happens in increments. Funny, I think of life as a video game. And when I hit a next level, I have endless lives to keep trying it. Or not endless, but in a video game you have endless lives, and but there's endless experiences that are going to come my way until I master that experience, until I hit that next level. Now the experience might come in different phases, different experiences, but if I look at the experiences, they kind of have the same lesson behind them. And there are some lessons, it took me 22 years to recognize it was actually a lesson. My little self thought I was learning this, but that's why I'm like, okay, if I'm learning this, then I should have mastered it. If I didn't master it, then I must not be understanding what the lesson is. So then I just surrender and say, okay, obviously I don't know the lesson. Show me what it is. And over time, oh, the answer will come to me if I get out of the way. If I want to assume I know the answer, I'm not going to get it. I kind of have to just say, okay, show me the answer. I know I'm stubborn. Show me in a way I understand. Your guides, your higher self loves you so much. It's going to talk to you in a way you can understand. We're all very different. So when we see chaos in our lives, we're the ones creating the chaos. And I know it is a very tough pill to swallow. I've been there. But I've seen as you clear that subconscious mind, as you're clearing the experiences and the traumas and layer by layer, things get more clear. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm still really learning to master 3D life. I have the best escape mechanism. I've been using it since I was a kid. I just go somewhere else and I just kind of don't even pay attention to this world. Not a good thing, because I'm here in this world. I'm supposed to see it with detail so I can experience it. I didn't come here to run away. I came here to experience. So my next lesson in life is for me to get to the next level, I need to master 3D life. 3D life is difficult because when I hear something I don't like, I see something I like, I just like, and I'm okay, ignore it, go somewhere else, I feel great. Now I'm looking at it all, and it's pretty gross sometimes. And what I'm saying is, it is all a part of God. There is nothing that we can keep out of God. Because if I send hatred or disgust to war and suffering and this and abuse, I'm keeping them outside of God, which is actually giving them more energy to continue. Everything is created through, it's all divine creation, all of it. And there's contrast, and humanity has created all this chaos and fear. We need to uncreate it. We cannot uncreate it by ignoring it, by damning it. If you damn something, it damns you back. If you bless something, it blesses you back. So when I see something I don't like, instead of turning a blind eye and ignoring it and drifting to my la la land, I am now staying in the moment, staying present, seeing what it is, see how it feels. Oh God, that feels horrible. But it is not a different part of us. It's not separate. It is part of it. So then I send it love. And I may talk to war, and I may talk to disease, and I may talk to sadness and say, hey, listen, we've created you, but we're going to bring you back to unity. And in this place where we're moving to that higher vibration, you're no longer there. Not because I'm fearful of you, not because I hate you, just because you can't live in a higher vibration. Fear is kind of not very smart. Fear will scare you. It'll do A. If that A doesn't work, it'll do B. If B doesn't work, it'll do C. If C doesn't work, it'll do D. It's kind of like very repetitious. Fear and all that worry and anxiety cannot move into that higher level. So if you can align and keep yourself in that higher level, you're kind of staying away from where most people are. The thing is, staying up here is the hard part, right? So how do you stay in there? Well, there's so many different ways to stay in there. It's not complicated, but it's not just one thing. One, I always say, you need to forgive everyone and everything, especially yourself and everything. You cannot hold someone. I was reading a book, I can't remember which one or where it said this, but you cannot leave one person out of forgiveness, because if you're going to leave one person out of forgiveness, you might as well just not even do it. Because holding one person that you cannot forgive is going to hold you back on your growth. So it's like drinking poison and expecting that person to die. If you're holding someone out of forgiveness, because out of resentment, something they've done to you, it's stopping your growth from going to that next level. So sometimes you just need to take a look, like, who is it that I'm so angry about? And yes, people, it's not that we like what they've done to us. It's not that we want them to ever do it again. It's not like we were going to be friends with them ever again. We're not going to keep them in our lives. But at some level, you need to forgive the person who has done something that nasty to you. And it may be that person has passed on and you can't even speak to them. You can talk to their higher self and just let it go. Let that energy that holds them in the darkness go, because you're holding yourself in the darkness. So forgiving everyone and everything, including yourself, is so important to stay in that higher level. Next, No lying, no lying, no lying. This is one of the hardest things I had to. Why do we lie? We lie because we're fear of being judged, we're fear of getting hurt, we're fearful of something. So, not that I lied on purpose, but I would lie if someone asked me how do I look, or hey, this is a very simple. I'm going to give you a simple lie that a lot of us do, but it's not a good thing. So somebody asks you on a date and you have no desire to go on a date with this person. Hey, that sounds really great. Maybe next time I'm busy. That is a lie. That is a lie that gave someone false hope that, hey, they have a chance with you. And really, you are not helping that person. You are lying. That was kind of my biggest lie because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. So I'd say things like that. So little white lies actually put little dots on your soul, what they then accumulate. And then we end up having bigger lies, and bigger lies it pulls us out of alignment. So my goal for the last few months is not to tell a lie. Now, I'm pretty good at it. But if somebody wants to know the truth that I just can't say, I just say nothing. So if you ask me something and I'm quiet, it's probably because I want to say something truthful that might hurt, and I just don't have the guts to say it at that time. But I'm learning to say it in a way that is beneficial to people. The other day I had a client in my office that was blatantly lying in front of me about their personal situation, which is really none of my business. But they were also lying to themselves, and I knew they were lying. So they wanted me to confirm what they were saying was right. I just said, I can't agree with anything that you're saying. I didn't call them a liar. I didn't say what you're saying is not truthful. You're lying to yourself. I just said, I can't agree with what you're saying, which was not a lie. I didn't agree with what they're saying. But I didn't actually go to the next level because I didn't think they could handle it. Maybe in the next session I will. But it's very interesting. So lying, forgiving is very important. Not lying is very important. Admitting we've made mistakes. That's another big one. Admitting, like, yeah, you know what? I did that in the past and I have regrets for it. But you know what regret is? A regret is a beautiful indication that you're different, that you've improved. Because if you didn't have regret, that means you're still doing the same thing. You're still doing the same thing. You haven't changed. But now I did all that. Now I regret it. Why am I regretting? Because I'm now at a higher consciousness, and what I've done was kind of embarrassing, so now I regret it. Okay, take the regret as a learning. I am who I am. Then forgive yourself for doing that, because at that time you liked it. At that time you did it. At that time you were a different person. We are always evolving and changing. Your history does not define your future unless you allow it to. If I make a decision based on my history, it's going to be a decision made on the history, which is probably going to repeat the same crap. But if I take my history as a learning, and I say, okay, that was, I'm not going to repeat that. Now I'm going to create a new future that is totally different. So your history does not define who you are. Accepting your history, and to be quite honest, all the crap, we've all been through crap. I hear it from so many different places. Some are more horrific than others. And I always say, you know what? I would never give up my history, my experiences, because they made me who I am today. And I'm very compassionate and non-judgmental, because who the hell am I to judge? So I don't judge anyone, because, like, yeah, I've done all these crazy things too. We're human. We live in this place. You do your best, and it is what it is. Would I make those mistakes again with the knowledge I have now, with the new, with my more clarity that I have, with the breaking of old things? Absolutely not. But will I make the excuse that, I did that because of my darkness? Yeah, I've tried that excuse. The darkness in me made me do it. And it's kind of true, but it was my darkness. So I still did it. So it's very interesting. We're very interesting. So you don't have to thrive or strive to get into your divine self. You're already divine. What you want to do is start chipping away at the resistance to allow you to really have it shine through. So just getting out of the way as best that you can. Now, another interesting thing was, okay, I'm going to give an example on how we kind of live in this human collective of experiences. So when you think about age is kind of a common one, and that's kind of come to my head. So when we think about age, we think about it from historical data, right? Someone ages, oh, women don't look good with gray hair. Our boobs sag. Men look better as they age. Yeah, that's kind of like what I feel. You don't want to look old because no one takes you seriously. Oh, when you're old, you get aches and all that stuff. And yeah, you get sicker when you're older. You're less active when you're older. You're less fun when you're older. You're more cranky. Think of all those things. Like someone asks you how old you are, you're like, oh my God, don't even ask me how old I am, because age is such a big thing to so many people. So many people lie about age. If you don't want to say your age, just say, why do you ask? I feel like I'm 30, because I'm older and I feel younger. When people ask my age, I tell them because I'm kind of proud of my age, because it's like, hey, I don't look my age because I don't believe in age. So if I believed in the history, the human collective understanding of age, I would look a lot older. I probably wouldn't be as active. I probably would just kind of given up on life now instead of learning. Why am I bother learning? I'm so old, based on, what I hear my mom say. Let's say it's things we hear our parents say. Oh, I'm old now. I can't do that. Oh, he's too young for you. Or I'm too old for this. Don't you love when you see that older person at Canada's Wonderland riding a ride and enjoying themselves, or want someone in school? I remember there were so many older people in university with me. I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. When I see an older person, I have redefined age. I think of them, they look beautiful to me. They have beautiful bodies. I love what old people look like. To me, it's wisdom. So I will never worry about growing old. Okay, I still color my hair, and it's funny. So my partner wants me to stop coloring my hair. He just says, just go natural. Like, you'll look beautiful with your hair. And I said, I obviously still have something there, as I'm not ready to do that yet. And maybe one day I'll let it go. But right now there's a little bit of vanity there. There's a little bit of, but I'm doing it for myself. I love my hair, and I want it to be the color it is. So I know one day I can see myself having the gray hair and loving it, but I haven't quite hit that, right? But in the end, like, don't you just love your body? Don't you just love how you can get up in the morning, and when you have a sick body, a body that's not feeling so good, you really remember how it used to be good and how much we appreciate it? Know that every body, no matter what state you're in, will heal. It can heal. What stops it is, oh, you have that? Oh, it's going to take this many months to heal. Or, you know what? It's going to, oh, I have friends and they didn't recover from that. Or, oh, this happened. Okay, forget what people tell you. I'm working with someone in the UK that has stage 4 cancer. Didn't have cancer before, has stage 4 cancer. They gave up on him in hospitals. They said, there's nothing we can do for you. We're working on him, and we're working on him every 3 days. He's making a miraculous recovery. His energy, like, when he first came to us, he was so dark. And he's like, I've been told I'm leaving the planet. And he's like, and there's nothing I can do, so I'm going to try this. All right, let's try it. And I have seen people make full recoveries. Sometimes it's gradual, and sometimes it's faster. That's really a personal journey of their own. But just the fact that he's decided, I'm not going to listen to the doctors. So we have all that stuff from family. Oh, you may not make it, this and that. Everyone has their beliefs based on historic data. We are in a new energy where beautiful, miraculous things are happening faster than ever. Now, on the other side of that, there are people who have been sick for a while. They're like, okay, if people are healing faster than ever, why aren't I healing? Okay, we're all on our own journey. We all have learning lessons. We all have our own blocks and resistance. Just keep chipping away at them. If there is a negative thought that keeps coming in your mind, work on releasing that negative thought. It is somewhere in your energetic field. There's a root to it. You need to go find it and start breaking it, breaking it, breaking it, breaking it, breaking it. And it takes time to break things, all right? There are many blocks I had that, so frustrating. They took forever to break, but they eventually go to the roots. The roots die. Our nervous system remembers our traumas, everything. So as you're changing, it's like if something's screaming at you, you're not going to get well, you're not going to go well. Well, as it gets quieter, it's still there. You might not notice that it lessened from 100% to now 70%. And then from 70% to 50%, then 50% to 30%. When it's 30%, it's still there and it bothers us. And it might still stop our healing. But now, the thought, that belief system getting weaker and weaker, your immunity starts to come in and it starts to, the healing. I can do this. You start counteracting it. And it's like this battle between yes, no, yes, no. Eventually you'll win and you'll start to get healthier. You want to enjoy, you want to celebrate the small little wins. Like some people are like, I want a big change. You're going to get the big change when you appreciate the small little changes. So if something positive happened that didn't happen the other day, you had less pain, you were more positive, say, thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Today I was more positive. The person we're working with in the UK said, I have no more fear. I've decided that I'm going to make it. And as like, wow, and his energy is so different. Now, I can't control what he's going through. I'm not healing him. He's healing himself based on his own healing that's required. His higher self is guiding him, but his little self, the 3D self, has jumped on board. So they're working in unison together. Our higher selves wants to help us, and then there's part of us that fight it. So it's kind of like this back and forth. So don't give up on yourself. Talk to your body. Love your body. Treat it like it's a relationship. And yes, on those tough days when you want to give up, ask for the strength of God or angels or whatever you believe in. And I know some people are like, I just give up in all of it. Never give up. Wake up every morning and just say, I love you, body. I love myself. Every day, it just go with something small. Every day I'm getting better and better. And then as you start to create a new way of thinking, and you're letting go what the expectations are, then just let that go and live your own life. And then try not to be judgmental of others and don't give a crap what people think about you. It is the most freeing thing ever not to give a crap what people think about you. So you're doing this, you're doing that. Oh my gosh, there's so many people that don't like me or whatever. And at this point, I don't even care anymore. I am being my authentic self. I am being who I am. And if you don't like it, hey, that's okay. I'm not here to please everyone. I can't please everyone. There's not everyone that's going to like what I say, what I do. And people who do get it, and if they don't get it, they don't get it. But I'm being authentic to myself. And the other thing that's popping in my mind is communication. Oh my gosh, this is another thing that I see so much issues with. People are living in households with spouses and they cannot even communicate what they want to do with either dinner, raising the kids, their sex life, how they sleep, how they talk. You're living with someone and you cannot communicate how you're feeling, you're trapped. And I've been in these relationships. I know it's like being in a trapped cage. I'm a free-spirited person. I love to talk. I love to do things. And, I don't want to be locked in a cage. And when we're locked in a cage, we lose that drive to be who we are. So if you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to talk, try to get them to talk. Do what you can. Maybe go to counseling so you both can talk. Sometimes the other person wants to talk about issues just as much as you do. There are so many people right now that in their 30s, much younger than me, that are sleeping in separate bedrooms from their spouse. I cannot understand, why are you married? I was kind of in a situation where I felt no love. I left. One of the hardest things to do. So I'm not judging why you're staying. It's not that, but it's not a way to stay. And the reason I had to leave was I was very sick. My body was going to fail. My body was telling me something's wrong. So that was my warning sign. So when we get a sickness, it's kind of an indication something's not right. It may not just be your your home life. It could be your work life. Maybe you're overworking and you're taking the burdens and you won't stand up for yourself. It's all those things. If you look at your life and there's unbalance, there's sadness, there's frustration, those are the things you need to look at and work on. And yes, it's a very uncomfortable thing sometimes, those conversations. They can hurt your heart, but that's part of the healing process. So we're all divine beings. We want to get out of the fear, because if I say something to someone, they're going to think, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're thinking that way. So the fear of judgment, all that stuff. And once you start to really release it and you're going back to who you are, when you are who you are, that divine you're never going to hurt anyone. You're never going to say anything that hurts them. You're going to say things from your heart, but you're going to do it in a way that's compassionate and loving, and let's make this work. I love you, but it's not working right now. Instead of having that resentment, because that resentment's hurting you and everything else. Okay, so enough talking. I don't know. Sometimes I get told that I rant. And it's true. And I tried actually to make notes today. If you actually saw, I was looking down. I'm really hot right now. I was ranting a bit. I don't mean to. It's just I want to stay focused on what I'm saying. But I don't know what it is. It's just I get all this information and it's hard to articulate it the way in like a very streamlined kind of way. Unless I'm doing a course. Then I got a PowerPoint. I have to follow it. And that's great. Okay, so I missed a lot in the chat box. I'm just going to go through it. Yeah, but the smart body. So, Alien has given some nice affirmations. Affirmations are so wonderful. Affirmations work. I say affirmations every single day. You can choose what works for you. It can be simply, every day is getting better and better. My body's healing every day. I love myself. Sometimes I suggest to people, look in the mirror and say, damn, I look good today. And even if you don't look good, who cares? Just say it. It's going to get you kind of like going and enjoy yourself. All right. And there's another message. I'm just looking here. We're going to start the healing. Yeah. Okay. Oh, someone said they love my thoughts. Well, thank you. Others will say, what the hell? Like, just stay focused. But thank you. I just go with the flow, and then, they are what they are. On the pay calls, people have been on them. I am very streamlined. I follow. I do tangents a little bit, but I bring myself back. But this is just, I'm learning so much about myself. I'm going deep. I am breaking, I would say, the super ego bullshit that holds me back. And it's been really hard, I think. And I think the next 4 or 5 months are going to be extremely hard for me, because I'm going down to the core to these big, nasty things, and I'm going to go get them. I will never give up on me. I'm going to tackle them, because I can't talk the talk and not walk it. So I'm walking it every day, and I do this, and I freak out, and I cry, and then I put it all together and come out here. Because those are ways of releasing that stuck energy. So there's nothing that's right or wrong about it. It's part of human growing. And I would lie if I said it was all roses and whatever. It is not. And self-healing is the most difficult thing that I've ever done. And if you can take time off work and go, okay, corporate, please don't kill me. But if you can take some time off work, maybe a long extended vacation, and work on you, that is tougher work than going to work every day. So if you ever have downtime and you can work on yourself, take that downtime, because you're the most important thing. Self-love is being selfish, me first. As you put yourself first, your whole life will slowly change. And never use your partner or your situation of why you cannot heal. Oh, it's their negativity. Who cares? Their negativity. Their negativity. Work on you. You're not there to change your partner, your friends, your family. You're only there to change yourself. So work on yourself. Okay. Wow, see that? I love your talks, made me talk more. So thank you for that. Now we will get to the healing. And just so you know, because people are like, oh my gosh, you talked for 40 minutes. And we're only going to have 20 minutes of healing. I'll give you 25. And just so you know, they've been healing this whole time. So you haven't really missed anything. So I'm going to play some music. And I'm going to allow the love to flow through. And just relax. For those of you that might be new, I'm just going to look through the list because I think there were some new people that were joining. And I just assume everyone knows what's going on here. So for this part, you are just going to relax. You just want to get in a comfortable position with your, your eyes, I would say closed, but you can keep them open. I might wave my arms and things like that. That's just because that's what I feel inspired to do. The healing is going to work with what you need. So this healing energy comes through and it's very specific. Everyone needs different things. We cannot get rid of things that you need to still learn, but we're going to get rid of a lot of the bullshit that you no longer need. It happens at a physical, mental, emotional level, so just allow it to happen. If you have any questions afterwards, I'll answer your questions. You might feel something, you might not feel anything. You might fall asleep, that's okay. Drink lots of water afterwards. I'm very thirsty. I'm going to drink a bit and we'll start. Okay. Okay, everyone, let's get this going. At the end, I use a singing bowl. I gotta turn off the heater. I think I have a heater on here. I'm just dying. 1 second. That's what's going on. I'm like, why am I so hot? This is just blaring heat. All right, everyone. Crazy Brenda's back. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. Composed and ready. I'm sharing the sound. Let me go. Here we go. Okay, so although that is done, the energy's still going. It's going to work with you for the next few days, so drink lots of water. For those of you who might be feeling dizzy, because that was a pretty intense session, I'm still feeling kind of like dizzy, almost nauseous. That does happen when we're processing energy. So drink water, and you may want to go outside. Still nice out, I think. Go outside. It's dark, yes, but warm, and ground yourself. You can just put your feet on the sidewalk, the grass, whatever, and ask Mother Earth to bring you back. Because I think we kind of like went woo really high with that one. Woo, I'm still spinning. I'm gonna go do that myself to bring me back. After these sessions, I need some time to kind of readjust to. Um, that was thank you for joining me. We're all in that together, so it's the energy starts and we're all adding to it and we're all receiving it, so that's really nice. Wow. Okay, everyone, I'll stay on here if anyone has a question. Other than that, I think we're good to go. I'm gonna drink a bit of water and I'll just watch the chat, and have a good night. I always send intentions. Everyone sleeps well, but some of us heal differently, and we burp all night, and that's okay. Just that's part of your healing. So just go with it. And you might wake up in the middle of the night, want to drink two of these. Drink water. It's great because you're breaking toxins, you're letting them out. It's all part of healing. As I was doing that session, all these topics came up that I wanted to talk about. I think I need like 6 hours of talking, honestly. It's just there's so much information out there to give people. But I think almost too much information is confusing. So we'll just bring in little chunks in here. There's so much to know, and it's so beautiful on how much healing energy we have behind us. So just keep striving forward, do the best you can, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, and just celebrate the small wins. Just notice them, and try really to notice things. So, well, thank you. See, I am assuming people who come on like me talking, or you wouldn't be here. And if you don't like the talking, you can always just show up half an hour into it and just come for the healing part, or wait for the replay and get to the healing part. So, you know, so the thing is, you don't have to listen. This is the one thing. Yeah, actually, it's someone said I see little light bursts beside you. It's interesting because today I felt very different in the room. It almost felt like there was like things. Sometimes it happens, but well, it's always different. Very intense session today. Okay, everyone. I think we're good. All right. Sleep well. And if you have any cool stories, email them to me. I love listening to them. So I do. I mean, I may not get right back to you, but I get back pretty quick to emails or texts or a quick chat. All right, everyone, have a good night, and know that we're all in this together and we're all making very good progress. I can feel it. There's more lights, more hearts opening. We're anchoring the light. So it's up to humanity to uncreate the mess we made, and we're doing a pretty good job, I think. Focus on what you love and send love to things you don't love. That does not empower them, it takes away their power. So it's okay to send love to the things you don't like, and forgive those people that you can't forgive, because really it's holding your progress back. So everybody's forgivable. Just think of them as young souls doing their best. Yeah, they're screwing up, but just they don't take things people have done to you personally. They're in their own experience, their own learnings, and sometimes what they've done is going to be one of our best teachers in some aspects. So just let it go, forgive, and move forward. Okay, everyone, have a peaceful night. You're all very welcome. Thank you for all the kind messages. Some are to everyone, some are direct to me, but all very kind. So we will see you guys again. I don't remember when the next one is. I have a feeling it might be September 8th. I think so, but you'll get an email with the replay along with the new date. All right, everyone, have a peaceful night. Good night, everyone, and we will see you soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.